Someone better be behind her to catch her so she'll have a freaking leg or something.
And then the big surprise is then she's going to call and I'll say, Mom, someone wants to talk to you, and I'll show her it's Elka.
And I'll say, oh, I heard you were having a surprise party, and I really wanted to be part of the surprise, so I thought I'd call and say hi, and
then knock on it,
and then she'll be like, oh, I'm so glad you called. I'll be like, me too, and wish I were there.
Guess what?
And you know what? I really, really wanted to be part of the surprise, so here I am.
So what time are we going to go? It's 12, 20 hours.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 12:30, but I mean, Mickey's going to get the call. Mickey's going to get a call. The lookout. So Mickey, you haven't got a call. No, 12:29.
They said between 12 and 5.
Oh, sorry. I think those got a beer. Okay, everyone get a beer.
So, you're saying that we're just
And believe me, she is hard to herd. You know that.
No, the last thing I heard was he was in that sleep. And that's when I said,
Yeah. Can we all come up to the front? Yeah, come here. Yeah. Everyone come up here.
Surprise thing.
Surprise.
Oh, there's Ron. I recognize that body.
Come in. Come on in, Avery. Come in.
Hello. It's good.
I remember this body, even though his face was in it. Oh my gosh! What's going on? Oh, it's going to be Niagara Falls. An emotional trip.
This is all for me. This is great.
I think we just lost like a couple seconds. Yeah, doing a little faster.
Hello.
Hello, Ron.
How are you?
How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Surprise, Uncle Dave! He did it from you too! Careful.
Happy birthday, nice to meet you.
You remember this, right?
This is something more than
Oh, beautiful.
Do you want me to take your purse? Surprise. I told you we'd get together this weekend.
I never thought we waited this long.
This is Chaz. This is Brady.
Judy, you can tell them to stop snapping.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Hi, Pat. This is Chaz. My boyfriend.
And it's very noisy. I'm absolutely not. I can't even breathe. It's such a beautiful sound.
How are you? Hi.
Hello.
Oh, I would love to have you.
We're here too.
And where's my other precious daughter? And my son, oh my Lord, I'm so blessed.
Yes, you are. Oh, thanks for being so happy to see
Hi, Gail. Hi, Carlo. Surprise!
No, it's fine.
So I just called her and I said, you are invited. And I didn't first year that I couldn't think about hi. And then
We had dinner with the
I almost didn't see her. And she said, yes, I'll come. And I'm like, oh my God.
Hey, Chris, you feel me? I heard the whole
Yeah. I knew that was going to be It turned out the way you wanted it?
Yep, so far so good. It's so good. Wasn't that amazing?
It was absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was Ron's idea. Oh, have it delayed.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Right, right. Like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a surprise. Oh my gosh, I'm really getting a surprise. I know how much you like to surprise your mother. We have a video man. Oh my God. He was hiding. But I knew the body. I saw the thing, but I said, Ron, what's he doing here?
So did you work together that it might be a surprise? We're just kind of going
What the heck? Yeah, I know. Oh, they're going to go to village with us. That's the good thing about getting old. Your brain doesn't work as fast as it used to. You don't know yet. You don't know though.
Sure, it couldn't have been somebody else.
Put two and two together. Hey, Ron, can you point that with you in here?
Nope.
You know what?
Just this week, I wanted to make myself feel really good. Dad was doing something that, I couldn't get involved in. And I sat, this was at night. That was it. You were sleeping. And I said, I can't sleep. What can I do that on the I got the video on YouTube of our 50th wedding anniversary. That we had a big party, and I watched the whole thing. It was 1:15 when I finally came.
Do you feel like he's going to make you another movie?
Oh, I love it. I love my family, and I have to tell the story.
Well, we're going to have like a little roundup of stories. Everyone had to come with something about.
Oh my Lord! Well, I have to tell the whole gathering. I have to tell the whole gathering this.
Like it's funny when I felt like I couldn't. Oh, it's funny when Ron. I know. It's hilarious.
I didn't get to this corner. I need to get to. Whose phone is this that I'm carrying around?
Was somebody on there?
Oh, so nice to see. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so happy.
This is class. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. Really Oh. I think every October Fest from here on in is going to be a bomb.
Hear me, I'm ready to go.
Quit crying. That would be so amazing. She's just like, I can't wait to see it.
I have to tell everybody something. Where are they going? Out to the party?
The party's outside.
Yeah, the party's outside. Okay, you want to go outside because I have to tell everybody on the thing.
Okay.
Oh, there's the dog. I guess we're not going to Penrith Village, right? Yeah. Oh my Lord! Happy to do it for you. This is unbelievable. I'm happy to go set for Penrith Village. Well, you can leave. No. You look great.
Hi, were you surprised?
Unbelievably. Oh my gosh.
and she was extremely Farley, I understand.
Hello, Farley. How are you?
You want to smell me, huh? What beautiful big eyes you have. They are immaculate eyes.
Yes. You know Gigi, that's Gigi's sister.
Yes.
That's Gigi's sister.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Your parents?
I love my children. Yeah, you have to.
We talk all about you when you have food.
My grandfather had blue eyes. And then my cousin, both of her parents.
never know. This hair is later.
No, we don't. He didn't know.
We tell him because
We know that it wouldn't get to him without you.
It'd be hard to keep him.
Oh,
sorry, Dave, but
can't keep secrets.
I want to tell everybody, all these beautiful faces, how much I love you all. Yeah. And these are all the faces of my life.
Get the paddles.
I'm just so overwhelmed with the love that I feel pouring from you to me. And I want you to know it. I was about 4 years old, and I always felt like second best in my family. My sister Margie, I wish would be here, but I always felt my mother loved her more than she loved me. And I remember one day I was on the second floor of our house, and I was in my parents' room, and there was a window looking right out on the street. The window was open, and I was feeling very sorry for myself for whatever reason, I can't remember. And I looked out onto the street, and I stuck my head out, and I said, "Nobody loves me!" You know how many times I've heard that story? And I can't imagine being loved any more than I feel right now. And I wanted you all to know what it means to me to see you all gathered here, all these faces that I love so much all my life. So special to me, every
It'll be more special because you're paying for this.
Hey, we're all in the will.
Okay, Dave, now that you know about it, yeah, pay off.
Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. This is for the tribute you've given to her. I can tell you right now, she's the best wife I ever had.
I tried to get another one, but it didn't work out.
Thank you, Rosemary. None of us would exist without you, Rosemary.
Oh my heavens. All that schooling paid off. Oh, thank you so much, everyone.
Get a picture of Yeagers not eating that seed.
The restaurant stands on the
Keep it coming.
Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, right. Time is a weird thing that way.
So, nothing new with Carlisle since we last talked? No.
Here's the queen of the hop.
I hope somebody takes over down.
She gave us 10 hours.
Beep beep, that's your birthday.
That's right.
You want to see? I texted
Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear me. Happy birthday to you.
And many
The cake will fire.
I wish I could control my brother-in-law.
Cake's on fire.
Make a wish.
This chair was in the way. Always excuses. Oh my God.
Take your foot down.
Nobody saw a thing.
Oh my gosh, look at the tennis. Oh,
It's pretty rosy.
that was Ann. Ann did that.
Ann did it.
She's right here.
Oh, there she is. There she is. Thank you, sweetheart. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, I don't know where to
I don't want that.
You're not gonna get it.
Might be too fuzzy.
Second happy birthday. You're double dip.
She is. Have a ball.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Another
He's all cracked now.
Oh yeah, when he was younger. Yeah, he was like one of the survivor guys, you know.
So Bill's a survivor.
The big one?
I thought it was just recently she was saying, you know, you intimidate me.
She said, "Why, Chris?"
You intimidate me.
No, well, this is. Well, could I put it in context?
No, it's not
Sure.
as funny.
Since it's actually your birthday celebration. Yeah, I can say whatever I want.
Sure, because that goes along with what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't he a Dickens?
He's a Dickens.
Who does he take after?
I have no idea. No idea. Definitely.
Well, when I was thinking about having my mom as my mother, I think to myself, wow, she was an environmentalist before it was cool. And
Yeah.
and Chris said, and that was just to save money.
And he was just being real.
Well, I'll tell you, leave it to Chris. Right on the line, boy. Yep.
And she went in.
You're supposed to be roasting her.
Well, I couldn't disagree with that.
She went into computers before anyone knew how huge they were going to be.
Yes, that's right.
And when I graduated from college in 1989, she knew what all these newspaper executives had no idea about. That newspapers were not going to be the cutting edge of stuff. But anyway, she anticipated what all kinds of highly paid newspaper executives never did. Of course, then some would say, well, she was afraid you were going to be a journalist and that meant hitting the bottle. But, I mean, she is a strong personality. I think of her as like a force of nature. And, I mean, I think that my editor says to me, oh, once Geggis gets a story, she's like a dog and she won't let it go. And I'm like, that's my mother. But I hear her voice in my head every single day. In fact, Ron always says, it always comes back to your mother.
Here's Ron.
I have one.
Okay. Oh, wait, I have to tell you the wrap up.
Okay.
And I actually wasn't there. One of my favorite stories about my mother, I actually wasn't there, but to me it says it is totally my mother. Okay, they had just given blood and voted, and so they had that I voted stickers on there, and there was like a posse of old men sitting around like you see, and their girlfriends and wives sitting
at the Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts, where you see every single Dunkin' Donuts in Florida has a posse of these old guys sitting around, and one of them says to her, "You voted the right way, didn't you?" And my mother said,
This was last November.
"We didn't vote for Trump." And then they started chanting Trump, Trump,
We
Trump.
got hooted out of the place.
Trump, and she's like, and she starts singing, not to be intimidated, she starts singing, Hillary, Hillary. And
She did the dance too? Yeah, you're doing the dance? The fingers?
Oh, yeah.
See that again?
Sing the Hillary song.
Okay, Uncle Bill, I didn't mean to.
Oh yeah, no. When I guess Marie was probably about 12.
Oh, I know what's coming here.
And she was always a lanky, scrawny-looking kid, you know. But to show you what a mind she had of her own, this girl was always after her for some reason, wanting to beat her up. Bully, girl bully, huh?
Girl bully,
absolutely a girl bully.
That's what they call
and this
it.
kid was built like a brick shithouse, pardon my expression. I mean, she was a tough-looking kid. I'm not kidding. So she would be there with 3 or 4 of her friends, right? And they'd stand down at the end of our fence, all the way a block away from our house. We'd be in the kitchen. They'd be out there saying, "Come on out and fight, Marie! Come on, Marie!"
Whoa, I haven't heard this
So
one.
anyhow, this went on for a couple times, I guess. And finally, my mother said, "You know, you're going to have to fight her." And Marie says, "Oh, I really don't want to." But I said, "Marie, you should get out there and fight her. I'll go with you."
Easy for you to say.
I'll back you up.
So she squared her shoulders, and out she goes. I was right behind her. So she said, all right, you want to fight me? Open the gates, right? She said, you want to fight me? And all the other kids on her side are saying, yeah, come on, come on. And I forget what the kid's name was. Do you remember what?
Yeah, Sue Long.
Sue Long, right, yeah. She says, all right, let's go. You know, so the two of them stood there, and Marie squared off with her. And boy, they really went into it.
I knocked her right down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but she was giving a good account for herself, too, you know.
Yeah, well, she tried, but I ended up sitting on top of her.
I know, well, yeah, I know, but
and
before
pinning
that...
her arms down, she couldn't hit me, and I could have really hurt
Well, she
her,
gave
but I
Marie
didn't.
a couple
I backed
good
off.
shots.
But there was one ingredient that was very pivotal. She and her sister started to pick on Tommy, my brother.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, well, you weren't there when this happened. And that's when I said, you're going to leave him alone. Don't you dare. And they were hitting him and, really being nasty.
Yeah.
And I said, you leave him alone, don't you ever touch him again. And that's when she went and got reinforcements and wanted me to fight. And I said, I went into Mom, and just as Bill said, the only ingredient you left out was they started to pick on Tom.
No, I didn't remember.
And I would not take that.
But I thought that was so brave of her to go.
Well,
Yeah, well.
it was something had to be done. She had to be put in her place, and
Yeah, well, you
I
did.
gave her a black eye.
Yeah, you did a
And
good job.
she never showed up for school the next day.
She never picked on Marie again.
Never,
Never,
ever
never a
again.
bad word.
Nobody in the family. She never.
It's like I always say, it's all about family and respect.
She disrespected Marie.
I gave her a little respect.
Yep. And then the other story is that I used to play ball every day, baseball, through the summer, right? And forget what time it was all the time. Nobody had a watch in those days, you know. So I'd be up there playing ball. All of a sudden I'd go, Bill! Billy! Billy! And there she'd be standing at the edge of the field with her arms folded. And she said, Mom wants you right now. So I'd go up and I'd say, is she mad? And she'd say, you'll find out.
Exactly.
You'll find out. You'll find out. She would never say, no, she's not mad, or just a little bit mad, or whatever. She'd say, you'll find out.
Was that Judith? Yeah. Chris, did you ever finish your story or not?
No, but this is all a perfect segue for it. I thought that it was very funny that she said that, I was intimidating him because I always found her a little intimidating. And I think the other story's kind of...
The background to this is that Chris has been battling the planning board and every other town thing that has to go through for the sale of his property.
So I was going to at least go get the car.
Alright, I'm gonna wait for everyone. You got icing on your shirt right there?
Oh, no.
I got it on my pants.
I'm getting like
I
the
know,
Geggis.
everybody's like bringing it out.
Marie
Those
has
goes
it
on
on
the
her.
shirt.
Eat it later.
We got it on her.
It's a party. It's a party. Is that like prank
That's
cake?
why you didn't see it. Yeah, ranking cake.
Okay, now this is a very incomplete
Okay.
list of things that I learned from my mother.
How many pages is this?
It's a whole computer.
I wrote this morning. Okay. Be friendly. The person behind you in line always has a story. Appearances count. Walk like a queen. But appearances aren't everything. She did her best to make sure I wouldn't marry that high school sweetheart of mine that wanted to marry me, that grew up in a mansion, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh.
Things that you can have never too many of. Clothes, lace, especially old lace, scarves and accessories in general, anything made of china or sterling silver, gold or pewter, beautiful furniture, packets of strawberry jam from the restaurant.
That must be in the genetic makeup.
I swear
It is.
Little bottles of shampoo from the hotels.
This is genetic makeup.
We can't help it, right?
It must be on the X chromosome.
In our family, it is. Sorry you were left out.
Leftovers. Friends. Do your best to always be on time. Don't make anyone wait for you. Clean up your own messes. She told me, I'll miss you, but I won't miss your mess. Always make your bed first thing. Think about what you might wear the next day ahead of time. Don't put it down, put it away.
Oh! That is in my head. I like that.
Don't put it down. Don't just put it away.
It doesn't give you in the male chromosome.
I'm trying really hard to teach this to all my female housemates.
What was the last thing?
I'm trying really hard to teach this to all my female housemates.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's really tough. Don't follow other people's trends. Make up your own. Why pay for a haircut when you can cut your own? Judge not, lest ye be judged. Well, actually, it's okay to let your true opinions be known, but preferably keep them to family members. I learned how to be stingy, or more flatteringly put, frugal, and generous at the same time. Not everyone can pull this off, but I can, and I owe it to her.
Oh, wow.
It's true.
Very good.
I learned how to be determined, that I can do just about anything I set my mind to. I learned how to work hard and how to appreciate a good nap and a good rest. I learned to appreciate beautiful handwriting and snail mail, handmade things, old things, sentimental things. I learned that tears are beautiful, even if they sometimes make other people uncomfortable. But it's always okay to show your true feelings.
Yes.
I learned to always say thank you and to appreciate each and every gift that's given from the heart, no matter how small. And then things I had to learn myself. Whether or not the person behind me in line actually feels like listening to your life story.
I'm still learning. I hate to break that to you.
Sometimes we do actually have too much stuff. How to not push my own agenda. But I've heard that through the grapevine that recently you've learned this one too. Thank you for being my mother. Without you, I would never be the person I am today in so many ways.
Very nice. Yay! Chris, the cars, is it just parked on the street across the street, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a story.
Okay.
It's not as maybe a bit. I remember.
This is our poem.
Yeah, I know. Well, your children are all very
We're all
accomplished.
literary.
Very accomplished. But I remember I was just a little kid. I don't even know how old I was when you got married. But before Mary got married, you know, she was dating Dave, and apparently it was getting very serious. Because at one point, my mother said, your Aunt Ree's coming over, and she's going to take you all out. And that never happened. I was like, what's this about? We were all excited. This is great. Well, I forget exactly where we went. I think it was a museum or something. There was a park or something like that. And we're skipping all of that. And I don't know how old I was, but I remember thinking, this is so wonderful. Are we going to do this again? And somebody, I don't know who it was, said, no. Aunt Marie wants to check out Dave and make sure he's good with kids.
You passed. You passed.
So you're being checked out. You passed. I was very cautious. I wanted kids. And I got them.
She knew what she wanted.
Yes, I did. Do you remember that?
Just vaguely, but I think you're right on.
Where did we actually take you, do you remember?
Huh?
Was it a museum that we took you to?
I think it was. I remember coming out of
I don't remember.
I think it was like and it had like a lot of concrete. I was little, so I don't really.
Yeah.
You know, it was such a neat thing because we didn't go out with other people usually.
Yeah.
So that was a treat.
Yeah. Well,
Went to get the car, Sandra.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you
Well, I
where.
guess pretty soon.
I'll tell you where the seeds of that were planted. And that was Uncle Bill and Aunt Shirley were dating as teenagers. And I've never gotten over the fact that both he and Shirley took their younger brother, Shirley's younger brother, and his younger sister on a date to Morton Pool for a picnic and swimming. And I've thought of that so many times, Bill, and Shirley's not here right now, but so many times of how generous that was of the two of you to think of your younger brothers and sisters.
Shirley was checking Bill out.
But you know that has remained with me all my life. Of how generous that was of them to include us in a nice time for us for a whole day.
Exactly.
Small.
Remember how to put it on.
80 years young. There you
All right, next time you play tennis.
That's a goal.
I don't believe it. Back this
You're missing the pantaloons though.
They had to wear blue, the same color blue.
Yeah.
They were Lyle, and if anybody here is probably too young to remember Lyle.
That would be me.
Lyle was heavy cotton blue stockings that went with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's before my time.
And pantaloons.
And oh yeah, pantaloons.
You know, got the pantaloons.
We missed the pantaloons.
That's all my sex raising, Henry. You know?
Mom was racing.
Is that a
They
green?
were our cool school color.
Oh, blue.
Our cool school color.
Yes. The gold and the blue. Do you want me to
West
sing the
Catholic.
song?
Is that West Catholic?
Yeah.
The song was Catholic.
And you had to put on, remember, you had to put on the leotards and the pantaloons.
Oh yeah.
And then you had to put that over the top of your head. Honest to goodness. And then you had to get off your uniform and slip it down and then put your arms in.
Very racy.
Very.
Run around outside doing that. And that was Jim.
And you were tied.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sandra has to leave, so can we all like get over for a picture?
Gather and look. And I'll stand up for my. I'll take Christopher's camera.
I had to sit and run roar everywhere.